Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Bread Impressions. Today we're going to be taking a look at Tengami. This is a puzzle game with point and click elements. I don't exactly want to say it's a complete point and click, but I guess that's the closest term. It does have some very unique features though. And I guess we can go ahead and start a new game. So the cool thing about this game is that everything is set inside a pop-up storybook, much like those books that you might have had when you were a kid. I can't say that everyone's had them. I know I actually didn't have any of these. I might have had like one or two, but nothing too crazy. So the whole journey of this game is just going through pages and going through different landmarks and using these dragging sort of puzzles to complete maps. So we can go ahead and drag this open. So we have dreams, and you'll notice that every glowing option gives you the ability to turn it. And alright, dreams fading. Gone. Now, from what I've seen in this game, you are basically trying to collect all these flowers and regrow this tree. I'm guessing that since it's winter, this tree is dying, so you're trying to collect them. I think that's the basic premise of the game. I'm not 100% sure because it's a little funky. I have completed about 50% of the game. I think it's 50%. Well, each level gives you a covered tree branch, so that should give you something. And I've played for about a little over 1 hour. I guess depending on how good you are at puzzles, it'll vary on how long it takes, but it's not a super long game, but I'll get a little more into that as we go through this. So you've actually got some really interesting things going on. So we are some sort of I don't know, he almost looks like a samurai looking guy. And that isn't racist or anything. He genuinely looks like a samurai. If he had a sword, he has that look. And I've got to say that one little bit of an annoyance that I've had with this is that it feels like these loading screens are actually really long. I'm not sure why that is, because this is a fairly simple game, nothing too complex, and graphically it looks fantastic, but it's nothing very graphic intensive. So this has actually got some really interesting things going on. Like I said, unlike a lot of other point and click puzzle games where you're just sitting there and constantly trying different options to complete a puzzle, this actually rewards you for exploring around and really taking in the atmosphere and enjoying the music. You can probably tell already that aesthetically, this game looks gorgeous. And up here, we're coming up to our first little puzzle. And you'll notice that this little bell has a glowing circle around it. And that's an indication that that's what you need to use. Now, I'm not sure why a wolf howling lets us cross and it somehow breaks down a tree, but you know, it's fancy. It's cool. It's certainly unique. So the exploration in this game is really a key component. And it's almost like it almost doesn't feel like a puzzle game. It's almost like a game like Proteus. I think that's how you say it. It's kind of like that, where you're almost just exploring around. And it's got these really pretty environments, and the colors are just so aesthetically pleasing. You just want to keep walking through. Honestly, I was just planning to play, a couple minutes just to, prepare myself for the video. But it turns out that, I just got so caught up in just playing the game. Now, the puzzles in here are honestly my favorite part. So here we have a bit of an obstacle. This wolf has collapsed our little bridge staircase to get to the teleport room or whatever, and that's a problem. A lot of other puzzle games, maybe you have to find a code or something, and it's kind of similar, but I'll show you something. So this game has a really cool tendency to kind of push you on the right path to solve the puzzle. It's not a very free-roaming game. It's very, very linear. And I think for people that aren't the biggest puzzle solvers, especially in these puzzle type games, you're really gonna like that. Especially if you like the exploration and art elements. So here we do have our first puzzle, and it's actually a really simple puzzle. You might go through a few times and be like, oh, maybe we just pull all of them. No, that doesn't quite work. But I mean, take another look at it. Just take a close look at it. What do you see? What do you see? We've got wolves around here that correspond to them. And hey, that's actually weird. All of them are different sizes. So right away you can just figure out, oh, maybe you pull these in some sort of an order, maybe from like smallest to the largest. So okay, we can try that. So this game is really cool in that it has very strong hints as to what the answer is. And for me, that's actually really cool, because it's not a complete dead giveaway. You do have to use a little bit of puzzle solving skills. From what I noticed, there is I can go ahead and look at the settings. There is an option to turn the hints on or off. I've played with it on and a little bit with an off, and I honestly can't tell the difference. I mean, things still glow, and honestly, that's really all you need to see, in my opinion. But maybe I'm just missing something. Alright, so we can go ahead and hop in this portal, and we go on to the next place in a wonderfully folding fashion. Alright, so we've got to this sort of shrine looking place. Alright, we can take a look over here, and that's actually the end of the storybook. So we actually have to turn back. And it's nice that this storybook kind of puzzle really helps not make you lost. And I think that's a problem with a lot of puzzle games, is that you'll get so caught up with trying to find answers that you almost get overwhelmed. So I know that this game is actually a really easy puzzle game, because I've played some pretty hard puzzle games. And the puzzles are really easy, so I guess that might contribute to some of it. But the way that this sets it up and shows you that there is something that needs to be solved, and you have to find a way to solve it inside of this map. It's almost like levels. All right, so we have a door here. A piece of the crest seems to be missing. All right, so I guess we gotta look for a crest. And I honestly love the way this game looks. You've got like a paper look going on. In a way, it reminds me of Paper Mario. It's just got that wonderful look to it, and the colors are very distinct and unique. It's very artsy. Alright, so we've got this well, and see, we've got a prompt on the side. Go and pull that. Got a pull-out book, and we've arrived at this well. Alright, so we can go and pull this. Alright, and it actually drains everything. And you see that we've got all these things, and you can just mess around, and would you look at that? That's a crest. But we've got to collect it, so let's bring the water up. So yeah, the mechanics are very cool, but the puzzles are simple. I think that's what makes this game really cool in my opinion. Now we're just gonna go ahead and check out this top. And we're gonna go ahead and pop that crest in there. Now I will say that the experience of this game is the strongest component. The ability to just walk around in such a nice environment and listening to this really calming and beautiful music is just, it's great. Okay, so we've actually got to get through here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and check out this door. And we'll head inside. You see that is brilliant. Alright, so we actually have a door down here that we have to get to, don't we? We can pull that open. That's actually some sort of an exit or entrance, but we can't get down there. Alright, that's a bit of a problem. So we'll get out of here. So that means we have to find some sort of an alternate route. Luckily for us, this path is laid out right on the side, so we just climb on through. So actually this part right here, I honestly find this part really cool because it just takes the whole flip book element and just makes it so much fun. Alright, so we can flip this over, and as you can see, this is gone. And, you know, we've got a bunch of these. You know, oh, there's a hole. I guess that's where we have to go. Alright. Alright, and we can actually flip it over again. And, hey, what's that? A staircase, okay. Alright, and we can go ahead and go into there. And I'm not sure why everything flips back over. I guess it just goes with the whole book element. But you know, the art style in this game is just, it's so pretty. Alright, we'll go ahead and climb into the cave. And it's actually going to take us over here to this underground area. I mean, despite being a really linear game, it is a very enjoyable experience. Alright, and we can go ahead and pick up this flower. Wolves sleeping beneath pale moonlight, dreams unfold. Okay, so right here we've actually got our first part of the tree, which I assume is of 4 in total. So after completing a section, or I guess it's a level, I don't think level is appropriate because each of these levels have like kind of different stages. But after you complete a level, you take your little flower and pop it onto that tree. And then there you've completed part of the tree. And then you keep doing that and until you've complete the entire tree. There might be more, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen from people's experiences, they have said that it's a very short game. But I will say that it is 100% worth it. Especially since this game does go for very cheap. I actually got this in a humble bundle for the lowest kind of level, and for that, I'd say completely, go for it. Obviously, some person in the future that watches this may not get that same experience, but I'm pretty sure once a game gets to that cheap of a price, it's gonna get there again. So I would definitely recommend it. I mean, I would even recommend it at full price if you just wanted a really pretty looking game. And, this is a game that isn't just about the looks. I mean, the mechanics are actually really cool as well. I mean, everything is a flip book, for goodness sake. It's just, it takes puzzles to a whole different level. And it's a level where things aren't rage-inducing, which in my opinion is this game's strongest point. Gives you a nice puzzle experience without making you want to rip your hair out, flip your keyboard, flip your table. It's fantastic. I've definitely enjoyed this game. Maybe there's some other games. If you guys have any suggestions as to what other games I should probably take a look at, feel free to shoot some messages my way. You can leave a comment. You can tweet me on Twitter. Tell me a little bit about, what other games I could try out. So, alright, I think that just about wraps it up. I hope you got a good idea of Tengami. And if you'd like to pick it up, you can go ahead and check it out in the Steam store. And have a wonderful day.